All right, thank you, and appreciate your coming to this press conference on gimmicks and taxes. The Democrats' reckless spend and tax spree relies on a number of budget gimmicks in an attempt to hide the true cost of its misguided policies. There is no single year in which all tax provisions in the bill will be in full effect at the same time. The child tax credit and earned income tax credit provisions expire after just 1 year. Yet the Democrats have consistently said this is intended to be permanent. The SALT giveaway is front-loaded while corresponding offsets are back-loaded. And the boost in IRS funding is estimated to generate less than half of what the administration claims. And even that does not formally score under CBO rules. Now I want to point at the first chart here. This is a summary. This is our chart, but the data comes from CBO, which is the blue line, from the Penn-Wharton study, which is the, I guess you'd call, purple line, and from the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget, CRFB, which is the red line. So the blue line shows that, as written, with all of its gimmicks, the Democrats are able to get CBO to score the gimmick-ridden bill at $1.7 trillion. Penn-Wharton and CRFB have acknowledged what everybody knows and what the Democrats have been saying for months, which is that the policies they have in this bill are intended to be permanent. And it's very clear to me that that's what the ultimate objective is. And if you analyze the bill based on the intentions of the bill and run it out to a full 5 year or 10 years, Penn-Wharton, as is shown in the purple, comes out at a total cost for the bill at $4.6 trillion, and the CRFB comes out at $4.9 trillion. They are several $100 billion apart, but both clearly show that the full cost of the bill, the true cost of the bill without gimmicks, is above $4.5 trillion and approaching $5 trillion. They also talk about deficits, all three of these entities. CBO, scoring the gimmicky bill language, says there's still a deficit. Remember the claim that there's zero cost here? Even if you take the bill with its gimmicks, it's got $400 billion of deficit, according to CBO. And if you don't take the gimmicks, it's got $2.7 trillion of deficit under the Penn-Wharton study and $2.8 trillion of deficit under the CRFB study. Now, these charts tell it all. But let's go on just a little bit. We have all seen that these proposals that are included here are driving, along with the previous policies and enactments that the Congress has seen happen in the last 2 years, a significant impact. They do nothing to address rising consumer prices and supply chain issues, but the taxes that are in these proposals, the revenue that is included in these proposals, includes more than $800 billion of tax increases on American companies with supply chain issues and worker shortages. And study after study shows that these so-called corporate taxes fall mostly on labor and capital. That's on workers, jobs, salaries, and benefits, and on investors, retirees, and pensioners. That's where the burden of the taxes fall. The Democrats' book minimum tax would overwhelmingly hit American manufacturers, workers, and pensions. And even the Tax Policy Center, which generally leans toward the Democrat side, has acknowledged how harmful the book minimum tax would be for capital investment in the United States. International tax increases would overwhelmingly hit American companies operating globally, not their foreign competitors, giving China yet again another advantage competitively. And finally, these tax hikes would hit workers and consumers hard in addition to the record inflation that they are already causing. This chart shows the inflation since 2017 coming forward, and you can see in red what has happened as a result of the administration's tax and spending policies so far, and why we should stop this reckless tax and spending proposal.